hosted by Jeremy Brown and myself, Murphy G. We got special guest with us, Coach Kash. Appreciate you coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having me.
We're here this early morning. We got the great Alan Black with us.
Whoop, whoop.
Jackson's also along for the ride this morning. Super pumped to have you on for sure. Like I said, been enjoying the motivational content, you know.
Thank you.
So definitely excited to get into it. Jeremy, you want to bring us in?
Yeah, man. Coach, give us some, some history on you, kind of where you grew up and what you're passionate about.
I grew up, born and raised in Newnan, Georgia. Played football, baseball all my life. Church-going family, you know. My whole life was about overcoming challenges, and I was faced with a lot of adversity my whole life. But I had a great village because, you know, it takes a village to raise a child and a village to raise a community. So growing up in my village, it was kind of bumpy, but my mom and my dad was the best that they could be for me, and I was very grateful for that. And growing up throughout high school, I had mentors like Mr. Luke, Coach Rio, and people like that, and Mr. Derek Teagle. So it was very easy for me as a kid growing up in my community because I had supporters outside of my family and the ones that was close to me. Yeah. So it made it very easy for me to grow up as a kid. So I had a very good childhood, and growing up in college, I had a great experience. I went to Allen University. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. Mm-hmm. I went to Allen University for sports management. So everything been pretty good lately.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What do you think was a big difference for you for tying into having those relationships with those mentors that you had?
I feel like what made it different is just having somebody that I can lean to, you know, just having somebody that I can just open up to, that I can just freely speak to without feeling like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying what I'm gonna say. Because you know, as a kid, you just want to be free. Sometimes you don't want to be uptight. You know your parents gonna be kind of conservative of what you say sometimes. Yeah. So you just want to have that person that you can just vent to without having any thoughts about what they're gonna say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you think that experience for yourself kind of has led you into kind of what you're passionate about today?
Exactly. Because I just want to be that light in the dark room for a kid. Because like I tell everybody, I'm just the vessel that God is using. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what these kids are going through, but I just want to be that light in the dark room for them. Because at the end of the day, they're our next generation. They're our future, and they just need that light in that room to shine on them sometime.
Mm-hmm. 100%. How? Tell me a little bit about you coming to know Jesus.
Coming to know Jesus. I came to know Jesus my whole life. Like I said in the beginning, I was in a church-going family with my dad. He has his own church called the Newnan number one prayer band in Newnan. So it just been a tremendous bless for me. And with faith, I'm not going to lie, I came across a hard part of my life around, I say, 5 years ago on a bumpy road with faith, and that's when my mom passed away, and that was like the hardest part of my life, and I kind of lost faith in that area of my life. But God has mysterious ways, and He's very powerful, and He will find ways to bring you back to Him, and that was a moment that just brought me way closer back to Him.
Yeah. You say your dad's a pastor?
He's not a pastor, but he's the president of the church.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So tell us about kind of, where your passion is with kids and what your vision is with that.
It's really just giving them a different outlook on life, because what they see on social media is what they try to persuade and try to be. And even with the sports world, they want to be a football player, MLB player, or soccer player, and I just want to give them a different outlook. And it's like, hey, you can be this doctor, or you can go be this lawyer, or you can go be this entrepreneur, you can just go be something, because at the end of the day, you're always going to need a backup plan. Yeah. And especially if you're playing sports, because in high school and middle school, I played sports all my life growing up, and injuries was a big part of why I couldn't fulfill where I wanted to be at in the sports world, and I always needed a backup plan. And all in high school, my backup plan, I started doing photography and film. And that what got me like to the side, okay, like if this don't work out, I do got this. So I just want to give that outlook to these kids as well, because a lot of them, they just full on. I got kids in my mentor class. Oh, coach, I'm gonna be an MLB player. I'm gonna be an NFL player, but might be the smallest thing in the classroom. But I just I don't try to knock their faith down, but I just try to let them know, like, hey, like it's you can be this successful business owner as well, or you can be this successful coach or a mentor and change other people's lives as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you see? What do you have what's your largest challenge with, your mentees these days?
My probably at first is getting them to understand why they're in the group, because a lot of times kids just feel like their parent just putting them in a situation just to be there, so they don't fully understand why I'm in this mentor class or why I have this mentor coach, or in sports world, why this coach being hard on me, or why this coach coaching me the way he is. So it's just giving them a different look, and it's trying to get them to understand, like, hey, if you want to play this sport or if you want to do what you want to do in life, it takes practice, it takes dedication, and it takes commitment. And I just want to be that version and that role model for them, and just installing it in them at a young age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like there's is it hard to send that message to them, or hard for them to receive that message?
It's all about how you really give it to them, because it's like kids nowadays, I feel like they're more hands-on and more visual. And if you do more engaging things with them, I feel like they're catching on a little bit, instead of just putting a book in their face and just be like, here, read this or do this. Or I just feel like if you just be more visualized with them, like, how can I say it? Like, me and my kids in my mentor class, we do hands-on projects every day. Like yesterday, we had like a failure relay race, when they had to name a failure or something that they struggling with in life. Before they even took off running, they had to run around a chair, come back, touch the fence, and it was like a little cups they had to stack, and whoever had to stack the tallest cups. And it was like little engaging stuff like that to let them know, like, little life stuff.
Yeah.
And it just let them know their outspect or outlooks on failure, and just letting them putting a target on it, and letting them know that this is something that I know I'm feeling it, and something I know I can overcome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
What challenges do you think you've had with coming up with, like, those games that are hands-on? And
I'm not gonna say they're too challenging, because a lot of the stuff that I do find be on like TikTok or stuff like that, or they just come to mind from games that I played growing up, or stuff that I might see Mr. Luke doing over there at the Hope Center. It's just like stuff I pick up from other people that I'm learning from.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
sir.
cool. Do you have a network of folks that you're just kind of men and women that are doing the same thing you are? That
Yes, sir. One person that I'm really tied into with is doing what I'm doing. There's really two. Is Mr. Luke. I don't know if you know Luke Ayers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Mr. Luke has been a tremendous blessing for me. Him and the Hope Center, because when I first started my mentor group, I started over there in the library over there off Temple Avenue. Okay. And it's like Mr. Luke seen me doing what I was doing, and he always been there for me ever since high school. Like, he was my mentor who I came to in high school. So when he seen what I was doing, he came to me. He was like, hey, why don't you just bring the kids over here to the Hope Center? And it was like, ever since then, everything just been a blessing in God since then.
Awesome. Yeah. How many kids you got jumping in with you?
Right now, I have 23 kids, and there's 23 boys. And I just currently opened up the girl side of my organization, so I'm hoping to get a lot of girls. Right now, I got 3, and hopefully I'm hoping to get a lot of girls inside the organization as well.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's your vision for it long term?
My vision for it long term is just trying to touch kids here in our community as well as all over the world, basically. I just want to be a person who I can just, I don't know if you're familiar with the Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get in that kind of nature, but in a more purposeful drive, because Boys and Girls Club is basically like a babysitter for the mom and dads. They just drop off their kids, and they're not, I'm not going to say they're not learning anything, but they're not gaining anything from it. They're gaining childhood, basically just being around their friends. But when it come down to the spiritual side, the finding the purpose side and just finding your why side. That's just what I'm trying to build around these kids. I just want them to get a understanding of who they is as a child and let them know their failures don't define them and make them who they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you find it a challenge to convey the spiritual side of things with the kids?
I mean,
do you feel like they pick it up easier, or is it kind of?
I'm not gonna lie. It's like when you shove it in their face so much. It's like, I'm not gonna say it's forced upon them, but they start to understand it more. And especially like when you break it down and give them real life examples of how God works and when He works and His timing. I feel like they understand it. And like a lot of my kids, I have these bracelets right here that got like little Bible verses on them. It's like little stuff like that, and all of them, it just make them engaged. Like I had a parent, they said before the child was in the mentor group, like he wasn't praying, he didn't have Bible verses. And it's like now he got Bible verses on his wall screen, praying a lot. Then one parent said him and his friends be having Bible studies and stuff like that. So it really be touching when you see how God work, and that lets me know like I'm a vessel, and I just see Him moving in different ways.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
How do you cross that bridge with having spiritual conversations with them?
It's really just I put it in their faces. It's like even with the sports world, I just let them know like God, you got to play through God. You got to give everything through Christ. It's like He give you the ability to come out here. He give you the ability to do what you got to do. Even with the mentor world, I let them know like God gave you breath this morning. God gave you a reason to still be here. He gave you your why still, and it's like a lot of them it clicked to them, and it's like, what's my why? What do God want from me? What can I build from this? And it's like when I see that, it just makes me more engaged in trying to get them more deeper into faith and deeper into Christ. And it's even coming to a point where they had a whole church service for the kids, for the mentor group, where the boys, they prayed, they sung the songs and stuff like that. So I'm getting them into church as well, just trying to keep faith into their life.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. What would you say your why is?
My why is just being the vessel that, like I keep repeating, it's just being the vessel that God is using. Mm-hmm. Because my purpose is my life, my whole life. I always been the person who was there for people, the shoulder somebody can lean on, the person somebody can call. I'm just that one phone call away guy. And my why is just being there for others, serving others. And it's like my whole life, like I said, it's just been, how can I help this person, or how can I impact this group of kids, or how can I just fix this community? And it just like, especially when my mom passed away, because my mom was a caregiving person. She was an RN. She took care of older people. She would go to their houses, and me just seeing that just made me want to be there for people. And especially my dad, he do lawn care as well, and the way he take care of his customers, like he can be charging them an arm and a leg, but he doesn't. Because he's always say God will bless me in the end of the day. So it just shows me like when you coming up with two caregiving people, it just make you want to go out and give as well. So there's always just been my why my whole life. Like, how can I go out and make an impact? Or how can I do this and change this? And I know my little old self, I can't make a big impact in the whole world, but like I tell myself every day, if I can change one kid mindset or one kid's vision, he can change 10, that 10 can change 100, and that 100 can change 1,000. So, yeah, just keep that mindset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think some practical just tactics that you use personally to stay in tune with that mission?
Prayer. Like I tell the kids, you gotta have crazy faith, and you gotta be crazy in praying. And it's like I wake up every morning, even before I came here, because I'm working myself to be more of a in-person talker. Like I know y'all see the videos, but that just be me with a phone right here and by myself, and it'd be easy to talk. But even with the kids, I be having a little trouble talking to them. But I pray on that, and I tell the kids, I be like, hey, y'all see when we first started this, I wasn't as talkative as I was, but y'all, I gave my faith to God. I pray every day to give. I be like, God, I don't know what to say to these kids, but I know in the Bible it says, if I open my mouth, you should speak for me. So that's all I do, and I just take prayer into my practice, and I just make sure every day I look back on my life and find areas that I struggle with growing up, and I try to make sure that there's not an area they're struggling with growing up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you usually like write that kind of stuff down, or is it just all in your head?
Yes, sir. I typically write it down, and I typically try to have everything planned out for like 2 or 3 weeks in ahead. Just because I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot. I have a schedule on my refrigerator, and it's like from Monday to Sunday, I got stuff to do, and that's on top of working and coaching and stuff. So I'll be trying to keep myself occupied all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you do for work?
I work at Amazon.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here locally?
Yes, sir. Right here at the one off Moreland.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Been there about 3 years now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How many days of the week do you do the mentoring?
We do it 3 days out the week. We do it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay.
And on Fridays, I be trying to have like different motivational guests come in and talk to the boys. And now, since I have girls, I'm gonna try to have them talk to the boys and girls.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just you, or do you got a team of people that help with the?
Right now, it just been me. But for the the female side, I do have a female mentor that's finna start with the girl side.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all meet at the Hope Center?
Yes.
3 days a week?
Yes,
The
sir.
people, I guess they just bring the kids there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And drop them all.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How long is it like a class or something?
It's like a 2-hour class session, or I call it a session, 2-hour session. First hour, we'll be doing what I got. They'll come in, I got a word of the day, meaning of the word, quote of the day, meaning of the quote, Bible verse, meaning of the Bible verses. Then it's like 4 examples of that word in 2 different ways, and the meaning of the word way and the meaning of the quote way. So
that's awesome.
yes, sir.
So did you have this plan already, or did you kind of piece this together as you were going, as far as like that what you just described with the schedule and stuff?
When I first started out, that's how I started. But I was also adding little worksheets in as well that I would find on social media. Well, not social media, but like the internet. Like, say my word today was integrity. I go on the internet, integrity worksheets, and I just find integrity worksheets for the kids and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the age levels or ages?
I got kids from 7 to 17 inside the group.
7 to 17.
17.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's a big gap too.
I know. Then it's like trying to teach all of them on the same accord, which it was hard in the beginning because it's like the older boys, because I got 2 high schoolers inside the group that go to Noonan High. And it was like trying to get them to connect with being inside the group with younger kids, because at the end of the day, they were like, man, why I'm in here with some younger kids? But then they start to pick on, like, when I gave each kid a role, then I let them know, like, hey, y'all the big brothers of the group. These kids look up to y'all. And when they start seeing how they start looking up to them, they just start taking on the big brother role. And they're the ones that really got everybody else activated inside the group. Like, I got a kid named Liam. When I tell you his faith has got crazy, I'm talking about he be on social media with reading Bible verses and giving his reason of why he feel like this is a good Bible verse and stuff like that. And when the other kids see stuff like that, it just make them more engaged and wanting to be spiritual too. So yeah.
So they've bought into it
a lot.
That's awesome, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sports are so important for even if you don't play long term, just like that finding that grit to push through on those hard games, or the team camaraderie and stuff like that. Like I think everybody should experience that, just because I just think it's very impactful for life in general.
Yep.
You never stop competing. Even if it's not with a ball, or it's everything you're doing is really you're pushing yourself to the next level to try to get somewhere, and success was always the goal. Exactly. I know it's hard to sometimes everybody wants to believe they're going to the big leagues, but really success and being happy with your life and being able to look back and say, I'm proud I got to do these things right here, I think is very key, to finding that happiness as an adult. But I get fired up anytime with sports because, I'm still a competitor today. So I do a men's league me and my brother played in the men's league in Peachtree City, and I mean, this past season was terrible. We got whooped every game. But I still showed up ready to go, you know. But it's great. It's on. I mean, I got to coach my sons, which they were like 5 and 6 year olds, and that was I love coaching my son, but that one was the task right there because I was like, you know, let's do a layup. What's a layup? I was like, oh, man, I got to start all over.
Yeah, when I first started coaching, I started coaching 5-year-olds in football, and it's just teaching them how to tackle without their head all the way down and stuff like that. But I ain't going to lie. I fell in love with coaching younger kids because when I first started, like I said, I started off with 5-year-olds, and it's just really teaching them the game because when you try to coach older kids, a lot of them think they already know the game. Like this year I tried to jump into coaching some 14-year boys for football, and a lot of them was complacent. A lot of them think they knew the game already, so it's hard to try to teach a kid who think they know it all.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to install inside the kids, inside my mentor group, inside the kids that I do coach, and it's like you always got to be teachable. You always got to be coachable because it's never a area in your life that you are too good at or can't grow at anymore. So I just try to tell them, like, you got to be teachable. You got to be coachable. Then I try to tell the kids that play sports, like my baseball players, my football players, I tell them playing sports build character. It's like the stuff that you go through in these games, the same stuff you go through outside of life. Like the adversity you face in these games, you're going to face adversity in life. The hard moments you face in these games, you're going to face that in life. And I just try to give that same diameter to them too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know 6-year-olds it was a blast. I mean, they make a goal and it's like that pure excitement. Like you can't capture that anywhere else, you know. But then, you know, like you pass the ball to them and they just chunk it halfway across the court, smile, and you're like, all right. So it was challenging, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm gonna do it again this year. But yeah, it's great. But yeah, I love the fact that you're tying that in, especially with spirituality as well, because to me, there's a lot of parallel with that as well.
Exactly.
I mean, especially with the battles you face and that grit to keep going. I think that's probably if I could pass anything on to someone about sports, is like just play the next play.
Exactly.
You know, don't get so hung up on the win or loss. Just play the next play and do your best. You know what I mean? And that's really I just feel like it's really impactful for life, you know.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think that for you, as far as I know you mentioned like prayer, for example, of staying in tune with the mentality. Do you encourage that with your mentees?
Yes, sir. All the time. I start class off with a prayer, and I end class with prayer, and I even make some of them start the class and end the class with prayer. Like prayer is very heavy around our mentor group.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do you cross lines with outside of like interacting with the mentees and all outside of the sessions?
You talking about like outside of like the mentor area? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I go to. I started going to, like, some of them in elementary school, so I would go eat lunch with the kids. Then if I don't coach the kid, I will go to their game and watch their game as well. So I try to stay active with the kids. And then outside the class, I try to take them bowling and stuff like that. Then we also got a trip coming up in July 17th through the 19th. I'm taking them to Florida.
Okay.
So it's different little stuff I try to do for them. And a lot of these kids never even been outside of Georgia, so taking them to Florida going to be a good experience for them.
Yeah. So do you recruit like other adults as far as just kind of being chaperones for that?
Yes, sir. Like different parents who would come out and help.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. How is this the first time you've done a trip?
Yes, sir. This is the first time I ever done a trip.
Okay.
Because, I've been doing the mentor group for like a year now. So last summer we didn't do too much, but this summer I'm trying to make it seem that we're going to make it seem like these kids are going to do a whole lot, which we are.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's cool. What's your plans for the trip to Florida?
We're just going to go down there, probably enjoy the beach a little bit, take the kids to the water park, let them enjoy the pool and stuff like that. And I'm trying to have at least one night or one morning that we will go out to the beach and have like a little mentor session, prayer session, read them a Bible verse of the day and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But I just don't know if I would rather do it in the morning or rather like at sunset, as the sun going down, something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's encouraging to hear, like, you know, how old are you?
25.
25. Yeah, I mean, it's super encouraging to you know, to hear a young man that's just like living on mission, you know, because you know, I know that I'm sure, you know, finances with the whole vision and all is tight, and you're battling through that and figuring that out, you
Yes,
know, which is legit. You know, I mean, not many men are focused on that, you know, as far as just serving, you know, and it's you know, stay the path, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, because we need it, you know, as a community, as the kids, you know, it's huge.
Yes, sir.
It's huge, and so, you know, as you know, I'm sure you've experienced, you know, Satan will get in there and try to distract you, you know, and throw things in the way that seem like it's impossible to move forward, you know, and what you're teaching and what you've already experienced in your life up to this point, you know, is push through, be consistent,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, which I see, you know, is a major struggle in our culture today. You know, consistency is not very appetizing.
Not at all.
No, you know, I mean, you know, you take a look at what I think the average tenure with jobs right now is 3 years, you know, and that shows you just people just don't know how to stay still and be a part of something.
Exactly.
You know, you know, there's a lot that plays into that, and it's not, you know, any individual's fault, you know, but as a people group in the time that we're living right now, we've got to recognize that, you know, and if we want to experience something different, it starts with me, you know, and so it's super encouraging to hear what you're doing. Keep it up, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Because that's awesome, you know, and to know that you're over here working a job, you know, and then also just doing this on your free time, more
Yes,
or less, you know, that's inspiring.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so it pumps me up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I was gonna ask you, have you had anything that's tried to stop it along the way? Like what would if someone was listening to this and inspired by what you're doing and said, I want to do something like that, like what was the hardest part about getting started and getting this thing rolling to, you said 23 kids? I mean, that's awesome. You know what I mean? So
it's really getting started and feeling like the kids not clicking at first, or when you first get started and you feel like you're not going to get any more kids than what you got. But you just got to, like he said, just stay consistent and just stay still and just keep believing in God. Like when I first started, I'm not going to lie, the first month or two, I only had like 4 kids in the class for like 2 months straight, and that was very hard. But I told myself all I got to do is just stay consistent and just be still, and God is going to move. God is going to make different ways. Because when I first started this mentor group, I'm not going to lie, I didn't ever think about being a mentor. That's something that I was talking to one of my friends named Gerald Green. Me and him was talking one day because I was just strictly a coach. Like, coaching was all I wanted to do. So me and Gerald was talking, and I was like, Gerald, why don't you come be a coach on the youth football team? He was like, nah, man, I'm more of a mentor type of guy, because Gerald was around a coach named Coach Tink who mentored him a lot. And so Gerald said, I just want to be like Coach Tink. Well, I didn't knock on him because Coach Tink is an amazing dude. And I told him, man, I said, I want to be like Coach Tink too. Yeah. So he was just like, I said, then why don't you be a mentor? So he was just like, okay, cool. Then that's when I was like, let's just start our own mentor group together, because I'm big on supporting, like I said, and making sure I'm making an impact on everybody around me. So if you're my friend and you got a goal, I want to make sure that your goal, you reach your goal is, and how can I put it? I want you to be successful in your goal just as well I want myself to be successful in mine. Yeah. So it's like we both became a mentor at first, and I told you, I was like, man, one day it's going to be like 50 kids in this class. And he was like, I don't know if I could do 50 kids, and I feel like they just ran him away a little bit. But Gerald was in college playing football as well and making his way into the draft. So, like I said, it's just with the kids, it's trusting God to add more kids inside your class, and you just got to be consistent and trust that if you knock this or install this kid and drain it inside him, and then just let him know that, hey, it's just different outlook, and praying that he'll go spread the word to others, because I'm not going to lie, one kid brought like 6 kids, and I felt like that's what it is. It's like once these kids start to join the class, then they go start telling their friends like, hey, I'm in this mentor class. I be doing this. I be doing this. I be learning this, X, Y, and Z. So I feel like that helps out a lot as well.
Yeah. So you pretty much just put your faith in, let God bring the numbers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let God take the wheel.
Yeah, for sure. That's a lot with us. I mean, the with the podcast is we're not really. Obviously, you want things to be successful. I'm not saying that, but it's like, if one guy's, our main focus is men, but it's like if one person is uplifted or can navigate something a little easier through listening to an episode of just people talking, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's a win, you know what I mean?
It is.
And so a lot of it, we deal with the same thing of just, allowing God to do the work. I mean, if it grows to something huge, then great. If not, you know what I'm saying, we're still staying consistent to the past.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, so it was 2 of y'all to begin with, and now it's just you.
Yes, sir. Because Gerald's currently in the military right now.
Okay.
But he do serve with me. Like if I ever need him to talk to the boys, let them know about his life and his goals and where he at and his standpoint, he will come back and do that for me. So he's still very involved inside the group.
That's awesome, man.
So I do still consider him as a co-founder, because if it wasn't for him, I would never even thought about doing this. So I do still consider him as a co-founder of the group.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where do you see, or what's your vision when you think about the future of like what you're trying to head to? Is like a building or facility?
Sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to have my own facility. I'm trying to have like buildings across the world for real. I'm trying to have like like
franchises.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to be here, and kids in California getting the next Gen Leaders kind of mentoring group. So I'm trying to just build it worldwide, like I said earlier. Because I want this to be like an open area, safe space for kids where they can just get crazy in their faith world.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
How would you encourage, some guys that are maybe struggling with, men-wise, with taking the next step in their faith, or taking the next step in something that, they're stuck in a spot in life and they're in a rut and they don't know what the next move is. What would your encouragement be?
It just, when you don't know the next step, just take it anyway, because the steps that we take in life is always leading us towards somewhere, and God is never going to mislead us when we go anywhere. But because if you want to be a lawyer, it's going to take different steps and different situations to be this lawyer. And being a lawyer is not the easiest thing in the world. You got to go to school for it. You got to pay this X amount of money for it. And it's like taking the next step. How can I say? When you reach a standpoint in your life where you feel like it's a bumpy road and you can't see what's ahead of you, you just got to keep moving forward. You got to just, like I tell my kids, when a horse is in a parade with all the loud noise, with all the people around, how do you feel like a horse stay calm throughout it? Because he has blinders on. He can't see what's outside here. He can't see what's over here, and he can't look behind him. So when you feel like you can't move or take the next step, just go forward anyway, because going forward, it will lead you further ahead than taking a step backwards or looking backwards. Because if you look back, and you're going to take a step back. And it's like, I felt myself doing it in my life a couple of times when I just, like in my mentor group, like I said earlier, when you came down, when you were talking with men that want to do a mentor group that struggle. And it's like when I have kids in the class, like 4 kids, and I'm like, man, do I really just want to keep having 4 kids? Like, is 4 kids all I want? Then it's like, I want more kids. But if I keep thinking about these 4 kids or having more kids, then it's like I'm not necessarily taking that step forward, because these 4 kids need this more right now, other than me trying to think about adding more kids. Like, I got to get these 4 kids consistently together, so when these other kids do come in, they see these 4 leaders already. Yeah. And they already see an installment. So it's just like taking your next step. You just got to have crazy faith. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I know it's not an easy. It's easy to say, and it's hard to do, because most people don't want to do it.
Right.
Because if you tell somebody, hey, it's $1 million at the end of this room right here, but you got to go through 100 obstacles, they're not going to do it because there's so many obstacles they got to face, and they see these obstacles, and they're not going to do it. But if you tell somebody, hey, it's $1 million at the end of this room, but you don't tell them there's no obstacle, they're going to go running. So it's all about just, even though if you see the obstacles, just keep going. Just because you got to trust God. God's not going to take you this far just to drop you off here.
Yep.
So that's what you got to understand. Even if you ever feel like you just at a stopping point, you got to understand God didn't bring me this far to drop me off here. So I just got to keep moving forward. I got to keep taking these steps.
Yeah. How would you respond when you say that and the response is, well, I understand that and I want to, but I don't know what the next step is?
Well, if you don't know what the next step is, that's when you pray and ask God. You pray and ask God, and you just keep doing what you're doing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't know my next step in my life like I said, with this mentoring group. I didn't ever know I was gonna be a mentor, but I took that next step into talking to a friend that wanted to be a coach, but didn't know where they wanted to lead themselves in life. And it's like me taking this next step into mentoring. I didn't know I wanted to be a mentor. And it's like people tell you, a wise man always say, you are the most successful in things that you never thought you would do. And that's what you got to put in. That's what you got to put that in your mindset. It's like, how can I put it? Give me an example of a next step. Like somebody want to take a next step in what?
Let's say you got a guy who's been, working a job for a while. Let's say 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And he's lost his passion in what he's doing every day. Mm-hmm. And he wants to do something different, but he don't even know what that difference is. Mm-hmm. And it's affecting his home life. Let's say that that the tension with that space mentally is affecting his marriage and his relationship with his kids. I think that's probably a common factor in a lot of lives today, and so I think a lot of the times I see a lot of they're paralyzed. You can be paralyzed where it's like, okay, well, I'm stuck here and I don't know what to do next. Mm-hmm.
Then in that situation, I would just, like I say, prayer changes things. I would say, if I was that person, I would say, God, I'm in the area of my life where I just feel stuck. And if you feel like this area is somewhere that I should be, help me know where I can grow and reflect in this area, and let me know where I can have my turning point in this stuckness. And I would pray for my wife and my kids, and I would be like, God, help me. I'm not mentally there for my wife and my kids, and this stuck turning point that got me in this grasp. What is my next step in my life? And it's like, God works in mysterious ways. He's going to show you little blinks of different things. And if that job is what God has for him, God's going to let him know, like, you've been here 5 years. If it wasn't for you, you would have been gone 6 months from now. I mean, the first 6 months or the first year. So you can't say, like, hey, it's been 5 years and it's not for me, because you've been here 5 years. If it wasn't for you, you would have never been there 5 years. It's like Amazon. I tell myself all the time, I'm gonna quit every week. But it's like, if this job wasn't for me, or if Amazon wasn't for me, I would have been stopped working at Amazon. But it's like, I fell in love with the people there, the environment there, and it's like they helped me build the character who I am as well. So it's like, that's the stuff that you got to look at when you're in your stuck in turning points. It's like, how did I get here? And how did I come across getting here? And it's like, you got to look at that and just help yourself develop and grow from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I feel like, a lot of conversations that I have, and also myself, mm-hmm. Where there's this line of learning, like, I think naturally all of us kind of want to control our own lives. Mm-hmm. But then you take the realization of that, I don't have that capacity to control, And so, but then surrendering everything to the process of, honestly, exactly what you just said, which is like, hey, God's put me here for a reason, mm-hmm. Either let me see that reason more clearly, or give me an opportunity to do something else, mm-hmm. and then moving forward with your day, regardless of whatever that circumstance that you're in, if it doesn't change, then it's time for you to change your mindset and how you see that, and how much power that can be, how much power that can have with just making that shift on your perspective, you know. But a lot of the times, I think, you know, as people, we put these expectations to certain things, you know. Like you mentioned, hey, you started off with 4 kids, and if you make the focus of I need more kids, then you're robbing the focus that could be placed on those 4 kids, you know. But being patient with that is extremely, you know, it ain't easy, you know, and wanting something to be more, but having what you have at the moment you got to be humble.
Got to,
you know, and you can see where pride is tricky. You know, pride is tricky, and our egos, they run wild. You know, and I think like having somebody in your life that you can open up to and have conversations about to keep you in check with that is so important.
It is.
You know, and unfortunately, I think a lot of people today are out there doing it on their own, and they don't have anybody. You know, I know a lot of conversations that I have, like especially with men, like it is not common for guys to hang out or have friends of theirs, not for like guy time, like, you know, doing what guys do, you know, like that. I mean, that's a good thing, but most of us are just going to work and coming home, you know, and there's no confiding in anyone, you know, which is not good.
Exactly.
You know,
because I done had a lot of friends that I know growing up that held a lot of stuff in. Shoot, I know growing up, I used to hold stuff in, but like I tell my kids now, it's like when you hold stuff in, then something happened, all what you held in just explode, and it end up exploding on the wrong person. So it's like you just can't hold everything in and keep everything bottled up. You got to find somebody that you can trust, or you got to find trust in God and find ways to just have a simple conversation like we having right here with God.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah, I would just add to that. I know the question was for him, but I was just sitting here thinking of like times where I've struggled in life with not knowing maybe the next step or what else to do or whatever. And it's something that's always helped me is just to be a good steward of what I have already and to be grateful for what I'm given. Because I find myself, when I get in those modes where I'm like looking too far ahead or like wanting to see the outcome or something, there's always like you said, pride is tricky. And there's always that bit of like, almost like ungratefulness that starts attaching to your spirit just because you're like wanting to get to this end goal or what you think should be the end goal. And then God's saying, I got something in front of you right here, but you're missing it. You know, it's these 4 kids.
Exactly.
It's the, you know, couple of views you get or whatever. Just, you know, it's like that could have been what it's for. You know what I mean? And so I find myself when I get looking too far ahead or get too wrapped up in results that I kind of just have to, you know, come back to just be a good steward of what I got and be grateful for whatever, you know, especially in our culture now where everything's about numbers and how many views and what, you know, they want to be able to see the metric of your success. And it's like, you can't really measure impact on somebody. I can't measure that kid chose not to commit suicide because he didn't say that to anybody, but I'm just saying you don't know the battles that people are carrying. And it's like, you can't really, there's no metric for that. So that's why you just kind of have to just like do what you feel led, you know what I mean, and allow God just to work through things. So I know that wasn't the question for me, but I was sitting here thinking about that, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, to get through those times, like just start listing the things that you're thankful for. What can you be grateful to God for what you're in right now? And I think once you start going through that list, you'll notice that tension will start to ease back a little bit because you start to realize, actually, I have a lot to be grateful for instead of looking for these numbers.
Because there's somebody out there who's praying for your life right now.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Somebody out there going through something difficult in you. And like growing up, well, I'm not going to say growing up, but when my mom died, I used to feel like my mom was the only mom in the world who died. And I never understood it. Like, it's somebody out there that's going through the same thing, but in a different way. So it's just like, you got to understand, people go through things and you never know what a person is going through. So it's always, you got to be like you say, a steward to yourself and to others as well, because you got to just be there for that person. Because like you said, you never know what somebody's going through. I had 2 friends commit suicide, and I never knew why they did it, but with depression-wise, I understood it. Because it's like when you feel closed in to yourself, you feel like nobody's there for you, or you feel like you have no faith left or no hope left, and that's exactly how I felt. But when it's all about who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself by a good group of people, it's like they're not going to let you feel alone. They're never going to mislead you or let you even get to that point of your life. And that's who I had myself around. I had myself around a great group of people, and they kept me to this standpoint and got me here to this day. So I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah, and that's something too, is, life's worth the fight, man. And sometimes we suffer in silence, and we just, like you were talking about, being paralyzed. And sometimes people don't know what to do, and so they do nothing. But then that winds up relationships take work. That's the honest, and I think that's with our culture the way it is. We talked about this before, but it's hard to necessarily make the time when you're doing all the things, especially when you have a family. I understand that, but life is worth the fight. And I think if you push back and you find that grit, you can reach out to people, and that might feel uncomfortable in the moment, but I think it's necessary. And so I think if you're struggling, you should put in the work to reach out to people, because it's like you said. We're all, and me and him deal with this with the podcast of just hearing similar stuff all the time, and it makes you just realize that we're so alike, and we like to think. I mean, we are unique in our own ways, but generally, like, we're all dealing with the same stuff. It just kind of just shows itself in different ways. But that's the thing, is like you said, you going through that with losing your mom was just that's heartbreaking, and I understand. And it's like, and in those moments, we like to think, I'm the only person that's ever dealt with this. No matter what it is, you always tell yourself, nobody understands this.
Nobody understands.
Even though it's the year 2026, I promise you, somebody's been through that. You know what I mean? And so that's I feel like that's the devil's trick, though, is to put you in that corner of I'm all alone. So isolation is that key. And so you kind of have to break out of that, and that's why community is so important.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I'm super pumped to hear your story, man. This is all, like, I'm for real. I'm getting pumped sitting here thinking about it. 25 too. That's awesome, dude. I was not there at 25. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy road to get here, but I'm very thankful for God lead me on this road and lead me on this journey, and I'm very excited to see what's ahead.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Is there anything that if anybody that's listening or whatever could contribute to what you got going on?
I could say it's a lot of people that I can contribute to, but they know who they are, and I'm very thankful for them in my life.
Yeah.
And without them, I'm nothing. And I'm just very thankful for them, and very thankful for God, and very thankful for you guys for letting me come onto this platform today to even spread my word and spread what I know. Because it's like nowadays, you don't find too many people like myself, especially as young as I am, trying to make an impact inside our community. A lot of these people just let the children just run into a wall and let them stay at the wall. It's like they don't want to see this kid successful, or they can care less about these kids' dream, these kids' goal, or their feeling, or their spiritual level at that. And it's like, I just want to make that turning point. And everybody talk about breaking generational curses. And I just want this to be a generational curse that we break, because you do not see a lot of people like this trying to change the youth.
Yeah.
And I just want more people out there who are listening and are watching, and just be like, the youthers are our next generation. They are our future. They're our next presidents, judges, lawyers, doctors, people that you're going to end up, when we get old, having to go see. So we got to make sure they're on the right track and they're well success, because the way the world is now is everybody's lost. And we don't want to continue the world being like that. So it's up to us to change that. And that's everybody. Whether it's just if you a parent, staying consistent in your child life, because it's not about what you buy your kid. Your kid forget the things that you buy them. But they remember how present you are there for them, how consistent you were there for them, and just how loving you were for them.
Yeah.
And it's just being there for these kids, because at the end of the day, they need us more than we need them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Jeremy, you got any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, not too many, other than what I've already said, man. It's inspiring to hear your story this morning.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming on and being willing to step outside your comfort zone.
Yes, sir.
I know you'd mentioned before we started that you're a little nervous, but I hope that kind of subsided. And
Yes, sir, it did. I got a lot comfortable.
Good. Yeah, and I hope that, the folks listening, I would encourage and say, hey, like Coach Kash said, like, it's all right if you don't know the next step, but take one,
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, man, super grateful you came on. I know it's early, but appreciate you making it happen for us.
Yes, sir. I'm thankful for being here.
Yeah, man. Is there any way that people that are listening could help out? Do you have any way that people could donate anything, or do you have any needs that need to be met? Or
other than we just need a couple of donations for our trip this summer, not this summer, but for this upcoming Florida trip. We got a raffle going on. It's just $10 for a chance to win a 55-inch TV, or second place winner, $50 gas gift card, or third place winner, I think it's a $25 gift card. Okay. So if people just want to get interested in our raffle, it ends July 10th. So if this video get out before July 10th, then we need help with that fundraiser as well.
Okay, and then also, is there a way people can get in contact with you to get involved or something like that?
Through my Facebook at Jonathan Hudson, JONATHAN, or that's GenLeaders on Instagram, or my phone number 404-735-3733. You can just get in contact with me by that if you need anything, or if you have a child that just want to be in a mentor group, or if you just want to help and reach out, or just come talk to the kids.
Absolutely.
They can just come reach out and talk.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll be sure to link everything when we post it on social media and stuff. So hopefully, if you're listening, you want to get involved and want to help out, then follow the links, or what he just said. So,
but the biggest thing for is just keep praying, praying for our mentor group, and just keep praying for each kid inside the group. That's the biggest thing that we'll take.
Yeah, 100%. Well, yeah, man, appreciate you coming on. This is a blast, man. I hope people hear this and get fired up. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate you taking this time.
Appreciate you having me.
Until next time.
Join the family.
Yes, sir.